Last podcast on the left is all about the facts. So when Southern New Hampshire University came on as a sponsor, it was time to do some research. Turns out they offer more than 200 online degree programs, and get this, criminal justice and psychology are some of the most popular. Classes have no set meeting times, and tuition rates are some of the lowest in the U.S. Want to learn even more about SNHU? Visit snhu.edu/last.
Why have I asked my electrician I found on Angie.com to bury my pet hamster? I was so moved by how carefully he buried my electrical wires, I knew I could trust him to bury my sweet nibbles after his untimely end.
This is very strange.
Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find pros for all your home projects at Angie.com.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
Yeah.
Get it.
What a day.
My life is gonna be
beautiful. You know, some people, they fancy a man from Morocco. And some people, they want a lady from gay Paris. But me, I'll take a little boy from Montauk. 'Cause that's good enough for me.
Welcome to the last podcast on the left, ladies and gentlemen.
A little boy from Montauk. Sing the song.
It's a bunch of little boys.
You all know the song. I'll take a little boy from Montauk.
My name's Marcus Parks. I'm here with the croonin' Henry Zabrowski, channeling the spirit of old Dino, the old Rat Pack.
When I'm done with one, I throw them away. And I go and scoop up another little boy from Montauk. And have my good old Long Island way.
And Ed Larson. Hello, Ed.
How you doing? I'm sorry I don't have a Montauk Boy song for you.
It's fine. Do you want to try one?
Okay, I was a man from Montauk.
See, no. I don't want
had a big old Montauk.
I'll tell you.
Now you're just doing limericks.
He doesn't want to hear from the men of Montauk.
There once was a man from Montauk who said he had a very large Montauk. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. He went to the base. And
to get some ace.
And now he's all over.
Living in space.
Yeah, the cock.
I'll take a little boy from Montauk. That's the song.
Yeah, we're here. We're here for the conclusion, the Montauk Project. So when we last left the grand epic that is the Montauk Project, electrical engineer Preston Nichols, ostensibly the most interesting person in history if you believe his stories, Preston had just helped with the construction of a psychic amplification device called the Montauk Chair. Built using reverse-engineered alien technology, the Montauk Chair was used in its infancy to manipulate the emotions of various kids kidnapped from around Long Island by the Regalian Gray aliens for use and experience. Those are the Montauk Boys.
Yes.
And they would be experimented upon by being bombarded with radio waves, UHF waves, and microwaves.
It's always important to reheat your boy before getting around messing with him.
The Montauk Chair, also known as the Crazy Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, funny enough.
I like that.
Funny enough.
Funny enough.
Thank you. That is my whole thing.
But as it went with many experiments in the Montauk Project, the scientists working on the Montauk Chair continually failed upward, and they began to realize that the Montauk Chair could be used for far more incredible purpose than just torturing kidnapped boys.
Yeah, because I could torture a bunch of kidnapped boys in a regular chair. It's super easy. You get a hose, you give them pictures of their mother and tell them she's fucking dead. It's actually fun.
Using the aforementioned SAGE radar array, which is attuned to broadcast on the frequency that accesses human consciousness, the Montauk Project scientists figured out that if they could use the Montauk Chair to break into the mind, they could also use it to broadcast the thoughts and feelings of the chair's user out into the world. Problem was, though, couldn't just use any old Montauk boy for such an incredible task. To truly unlock the potential of the Montauk chair, the Montauk Project needed a powerful psychic, someone whose abilities went far beyond that of your average Long Island boy. Well, the psychic they found, who eventually became one of the other Montauk Project whistleblowers right alongside scientist Preston Nichols, he was also the man who supposedly helped unlock the time travel possibilities of the Montauk chair. This incredibly unique creature was named Duncan Cameron.
Yes, I've watched several long talks of Al Bielek, Preston Nichols, and Duncan Cameron talking. And you know what I've now discovered? You know what I've realized who Duncan Cameron is to all of them?
Who?
He's their French steward. He is a man that doesn't know that he is, you know how goofy neighbors nowadays, they'd all be diagnosed with various syndromes?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's one of those.
Gotcha. You know what? I don't get all the hate for French Stewart. I thought it was delightful.
This is
Very
not
rock
wonderful.
ensemble.
This is just a neutral comparison.
Do people have hate for French Stewart?
Yes.
No. Really?
Yes.
I think
He's great.
Yeah.
Very
people
kind.
have an outdated understanding of the wacky best friend, and they don't understand that used to be a super important part of all comedy.
Yeah.
And French Stewart was great at that, but also that was the only thing he could do. This is a bazinga-based economy, and that is what he was opinioning on.
I like the guy from the Drew Carey show.
We all do.
Yeah. He's got Ryan Stiles.
No. He was the normal one, the idiot.
We're lost here now. We are absolutely fucked. This is the most confused that we have been in the episode. We're about to try to figure out.
He was in Office Space. He was the goofy neighbor in
We're
Office
talking
Space.
about adults turning into babies. We can't do this here.
Now, Duncan Cameron's story is one of the most convoluted that I've heard in all my years of doing this show, and that's saying something. Before Duncan even took a seat in the Montauk chair, his journey involved body swapping, parallel lives, government experiments, and an unhealthy amount of time travel.
What is a healthy amount?
Once. I think if you do it once and you stay on that time, then it's done. Then it's just a trip.
Seems never is the best way. It's kind of like heroin. You can't just do it once. But like the Montauk Project itself,
I feel like we're going to get emails. It's like, I know of all the things that we cover, I feel like a lot of people's like, I did it one time.
so
We smoked opium twice.
You shouldn't do it. Well, you did it twice.
But it smoked it, but it wasn't like, I didn't know it was heroin. I thought it was a different type of weed.
So you shouldn't do heroin or opium once.
You're right.
Yeah.
But I did, and I'm awesome.
Yeah, you smoked it twice. I smoked it like 30 times.
Wow.
Handful.
A handful. Well, more. 30's a handful?
Well, let's not do this. Oh, my God. No, let's not do this.
But like the Montauk Project itself, Duncan Cameron's involvement in this story begins with the invisible battleship / interdimensional time-traveling snafu that we talked about in the first episode, the Philadelphia experiment. Now, to place you in the correct time frame, because time frames are extremely important in Duncan Cameron's story, the Philadelphia experiment occurred in the year 1943, which placed Duncan's birth date somewhere in the 1910s, although that, like many things in Duncan's story, is vague.
Duncan Cameron also likes to dress like a small-town choreographer. He dresses the most turtlenecks I've ever seen in Long Island, and he wears a beret.
He is, like I said, a very unique character.
He really is.
I think in the future, we're going to see a lot of turtlenecks because so many people are getting neck tattoos.
Yes, and they're going to be upset.
And they're getting a little loosey-goosey with these neck tattoos. And I think we're going to see an influx in turtlenecks, so invest now.
Hey, or totally opposite. Neck removal surgery.
Whoa!
Chin to shoulder. That could be. Boulder head could be the new sign of wealth.
Now, Duncan was not the only member of his family involved in the Philadelphia experiment or the Montauk Project, but Duncan did not begin his career in the world of high strangeness as a psychic. Psychic, of course, is the role that he played in the Montauk Project. Duncan Cameron actually began in the world of science with his brother, Ed Cameron. Ed was also supposedly born in the early 20th century. Ed was also apparently the brains of the family, having supposedly earned his undergrad degree at Princeton and a PhD from Harvard. But while he was at Princeton in the early 1930s, Duncan Cameron's brother, Ed Cameron, he met Dr. John von Neumann, who you may remember from the last episode as the mathematician who headed up the antecedents to the Montauk Project, Projects Rainbow and Phoenix.
Yeah, that fucking dumbass mathematician who doesn't fucking do stuff that matters because math is stupid.
He's the one respectable person in this whole story.
The person I hate the most.
As a fun pop culture side note, I did forget to mention last episode that the wheelchair-bound Dr. John von Neumann was partly the inspiration for the character of Dr. Strangelove.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because he was one of those weird, shady characters that was doing a bunch of weird government science.
Well, he was Hungarian. He wasn't German, and he wasn't a former Nazi, but his entire vibe was very Dr. Strangelove.
It's like he wanted to be one. You know, like...
You can't say he didn't want to be one.
It's
So
like
why did he put Vaughn in his name?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, without being a professional skier. I feel that he was like... It's not that he wanted to be one. He was one of those that, like the jackets. That if he could have gotten a hold
He
of
was a Ralph Lauren fan?
Yes, if he could have gotten the jackets and the
Or
cool
Hugo
hats.
Boss.
Hugo
Excuse
Boss,
me,
Hugo
Hugo
Boss.
Boss.
It's all the same.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Now, after Ed Cameron earned his PhD from Harvard in 1939, he was supposedly recruited by the Navy along with his brother Duncan, although the reasons behind Duncan Cameron's recruitment are, again, very vague.
It's because wherever he goes, I go.
Yeah.
I'm his shadow. And you follow me, and I follow you, my sweet, sweet, smart brother, Eddie. I'm the dramatic one.
But before long, Dr. von Neumann recruited both Ed and Duncan Cameron into Project Rainbow, which meant that the Cameron brothers were soon on assignment working in the bowels of the USS Eldridge as a part of the Philadelphia experiment. So we're in 1943 right now.
Okay.
Working deep inside the ship, the Cameron brothers were assigned to the control room. This is where the Tesla coils that created the electromagnetic fields that were supposed to make the USS Eldridge radar invisible were kept. But, as we know, the experiment went terribly awry.
Because Nikola Tesla purposely changed the shape of the coil so that they go the wrong way.
Well, and that's the other thing, too, is that Nikola Tesla was also dead for about 8 months when the Philadelphia experiment
Not
occurred.
according to my research.
Time travel.
He was
Yeah.
doubled. He was doubled.
8 months?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's all you need.
All right. But, I don't know why there's I think it has to be like 16 years.
Because
I guess
that
you
would
could technically
seem like-
time travel 2 weeks.
October.
It is cold in October.
Now, because the Camerons were down in the bowels behind all those layers of steel and iron, they were supposedly protected from the horrible side effects that occurred when the USS Eldridge jumped through time and space. Side effects like finding your body fused to the ship's hull, or going insane from being exposed to the energies of another universe. But as we said on the first episode, the Philadelphia experiment didn't end even after the disasters of the initial test, because after all, they hadn't reached their actual goal of radar invisibility. So, when the second test was conducted to give it another shot, Duncan and Ed Cameron were once again on board.
We just figured we were there for the first trip. We might as well be there for the second. Is that right, brother?
Yeah, it's not like we'll get fused to the ship.
Oh, but hopefully, brother, maybe we can be fused. Penis to butt. And finally, I can forever be inside of you.
I mean, if we're not fused together, we could do it over and over again.
No, that makes it gay. But if it's done by science, it's an experiment.
I'm coming.
Yes, I will agree that if there's friction back and forth, then it is gay, but if it is just in there, then it's fine.
Thank you, Mr. Von Neumann. I mean, Dr. Van Neumann, because you didn't go to 9 years of Neumann school to be Mr. Van Neumann.
Teach me how to soak my brother.
I'll fuck you inside your belly.
Well, supposedly, on this second test, everything was going just fine for the first 5 minutes. But when the ship vanished from sight once again, the Cameron brothers could tell that something wasn't right going off how the other crew members were being affected by the electromagnetic energies.
I'm fucking shit. I'm coming out my fucking belly button. My poop is cum, my cum is shit.
Very good.
Is there a problem? I talked to Ryan Coogler this week.
Did you tell him that you come with shit?
Off mic.
Well, in an attempt to reverse the damage, the Cameron brothers tried shutting down the generators and the transmitters, but the effects weren't slowing down. Faced with seemingly no other choice, the Cameron brothers finally decided to abandon ship to save themselves.
Come, brother, jump onto my lap.
I'm already there.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Grab onto my back pockets.
I told you, don't call me cum brother in public.
All right, shit, brother.
This Montauk chair is lumpy.
Let's just move forward. Let's move on. No reason.
But when the Cameron brothers jumped over the side of the ship in the middle of the whole experiment, they fell not into the icy waters of the Atlantic, but through a hyperspace tunnel in time that had been opened up. They blacked out and awoke to find themselves in hospital beds recovering from radiation burns. Now, at first, they believed they were still in 1943, but they very quickly noticed that their rooms had relatively large color televisions, which were not commercially available in 1943. Pretty soon, after the standard "what year is it" freakout, Duncan and Ed were told that they had accidentally traveled to the far-flung year of 2137!
Pew, 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 pew.
I think part of what I have issue with is we still just got TVs, huh?
Yeah.
We still just got TVs. That's sad.
Yeah.
Well, in hospitals.
And hospitals, not run by robots. This whole thing's just so funny. Just like them all showing up at the hospital and then being like, "Yeah, you took a bit of a time travel trip right here, but we're gonna have to do your space colonoscopy because you've actually passed the age for it. We're gonna have to do it."
According to what Ed and Duncan Cameron learned, the United States had been utterly changed by rising sea levels by the year 2137, and California in particular had been almost entirely swallowed by the sea. The Cameron brothers also had no idea of how they could return to the year 1943, but after 4 weeks of recovery, Ed and Duncan were wandering the hospital grounds when Ed suddenly disappeared. He had no idea how or why, but he soon found himself even further in the future when he landed in the year 2749!
And there's still TVs. What the fuck? Huh?
Well, Ed decided he might as well make the most of it. So he made a life in the year 2749 as a tour guide in, I assume, a museum of some sort, where he likely told his personal experiences of mid-20th century America throughout his 2 years living in the 28th century.
Oh my God, you're so fucking cute. Can you explain to me how refrigerators work?
I only know chairs.
Yeah. Oh my God, your ignorance is so fucking hot. He's so from the year 1943. I'm gonna fucking, my fake two pussies are starting to kiss.
This is an Aeron chair, and that's a wooden chair.
Excuse me, I have to put on my pleasure butthole.
All right, well, make sure that you get it on the chair.
It's a screw up.
That's a bed. I don't know anything about that.
Now, according to Ed, the America of 2749 was a society of floating cities built with anti-gravity technology. I guess because all the water everywhere.
Yeah.
And civilization was run by computers called wing makers.
Good fake name.
Yeah, it is a great fake name. From my scant understanding, based off what Henry told me during a Zoom call with our researchers yesterday, it seems like it was these computers that sent Ed home.
I think this takes place in the world where the Rocco's Basilisk thought exercise is happening, where if there are supercomputers that run our future, they have then always existed. And if they do have power of time travel, then they can reach back and affect time in a way that makes sure and ensures that they develop and that they come around. And this is what they did. All of the unknown moves are being made by the absolutely inscrutable minds of these so-called wing makers. And the first ones they approached, of course, going back in about the year 1971, was Paul McCartney. And that was where the first wings were ever made.
I was a wing maker for a long time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Hooters.
Oh, B-dubs.
Yeah, B-dubs and Hooters.
Yeah. Not the same, though.
No.
No, would you put the men that were in that kitchen with you in charge of the universe?
I mean, not in charge of the universe, but I'd let them take out the trash. Just don't talk to the ladies.
Yeah. Here you go, Ed. Just make it to the trash can and back.
Well, supposedly, Ed Cameron was able to stop off in 2137 to pick up Duncan right at the moment that he disappeared.
Brother!
But the brothers were not able to travel all the way back to 1943. Instead, Ed and Duncan landed at the base at Montauk Point in 1983, at a time when the Montauk Project had already been up and going for decades. See, according to Preston Nichols, the Earth has natural 20-year time rhythms that act as anchor years for time travel.
Yeah.
The anchor years for Duncan Cameron were 1943, 1963, and 1983. So it was only logical that Duncan and Ed would land in the nearest anchor year when they attempted to travel back to their origin point.
If it's every 20 years, how did they end up in 2137?
Because that one was different.
That one...
Thank you.
Seriously, that is seriously the answer. That is seriously the answer. It's because that one was different.
That one was different,
Yeah.
and it's good to know. Preston Nichols believes in this. This is really all hinging on a lot of specific ideas in science and physics, I guess, which is the idea that time is a force. So part of what they say is, according to Cameron and Preston Nichols, that when cum touches egg, you are born, a time-space IP address is created for you alone, which is why you could travel back and forth across time without affecting the main timeline, because it's just your specific time-space timeline that you are carrying with you. But some of the problems with the experimenting of the Montauk Project can knock you off of your timeline, and that's when you start floating places.
Yeah.
I almost got that.
Yeah, I think you'll see eventually. Once I'm done with you.
Rise from your grave.
This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer means freedom. And for adults, summer means work next to freedom. But thanks to Mint Mobile's summer sale, it can almost feel like the work is playtime for the adults. Right now, all of Mint's plans are $15 per month, even unlimited. Free yourself from big wireless and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. It's so well connected, I could call from anywhere. Deep from well within my bunker, where my AI-fueled robots slowly but surely toil for me, but I know for a fact I'm saving money on my phone plan. Or up above, where I'm training all of my giant Amazon female warriors who will fight in bulletproof mesh. Also, honestly, Mint Mobile's really cheap, and it's really reliable, so you should use it. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 per 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com. If I think about where we were 20 years ago, and I think what we would use to protect our space, it would mostly involve bayonets, weed whackers, and assorted diesel-fueled dune buggies that we'd use to spread pollution so thick it kept the other improv comedians from stealing our material. But now, SimpliSafe has made all that so much easier. Using SimpliSafe here at the office has revolutionized our ability to use diesel-powered dune buggies for good. and not for chaos. Think about what your home security system does as an intruder approaches your house. Sits, waits. Not much. Just waits until the window breaks, and then it goes, oh no. But then you get some kind of alarm and a notification. What if the whole point was to stop the chain events before it even happened? Unlike traditional security systems that'll only alert you after a break-in is already underway, SimpliSafe is designed to help stop intruders before they get inside. It goes into their mind. It makes them think of why they're doing this. I remember when we didn't have real security and all the podcasters were outside begging for our takes. Begging and scratching like a bunch of weasels. Now I can see them 25 feet away, and I can spray them with fire extinguisher liquid and stink gas. Not that it would make them smell any worse than they already did. SimpliSafe helps me lord over them all. SimpliSafe has been protecting your world for 20 years. Celebrate their anniversary with us and save 60% on your new SimpliSafe system at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. That's 60% off at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. Plus, when you order, write in our show name in the How'd You Hear About Us survey in order to let them know we sent you. Don't forget, there's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now, once Duncan and Ed arrived at Montauk Point in the year 1983, they were met by Dr. John von Neumann, who had apparently faked his death from radiation exposure due to his work on the Manhattan Project in 1957, and was still working on the Montauk Project at the ripe old age of 80. Now, we're going to get into how all the time travel stuff unfolded at the Montauk Project later. But for the purposes of telling the story of Ed and Duncan Cameron first, let's just accept that time travel had already been going on at the Montauk Project for a while by the time Ed and Duncan landed there in 1983.
Okay.
Dr. von Neumann, of course, was very much involved in the time travel stuff, and as such, the good doctor told the Cameron brothers that he'd been waiting for them to return from their travels in time, but they still needed to go back to 1943 to turn off the generators so they could finally end the experiment on the USS Eldridge, which had been occurring this entire time.
The entire time. Time travel means that time technically is both real and not real because you can go back and forth. All the things are actually happening at once.
Can I ask a time travel question?
Of course.
So, while you're traveling through time, do you still age at the normal rate?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, if I go back in time, I'm still 43.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And then if you stay there for a long time, but time travel then forward can super age you after the fact.
But even though it's not aging me at all, because because it's still just
your time catches up to you.
And these guys went to 2700?
Big time.
Okay.
Super long.
And it didn't age them?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll see.
Ooh.
See, it's all about after the fact.
Cool.
Well, after getting some proper... Yeah, your humoring
You're taking
button
this well.
is like really high. Like you got your humoring dial all the way up.
I'm here to learn.
Yep. I'm really proud of you.
So after getting some proper time travel training from Dr. John von Neumann...
The key is you need to overlap your feet so the time water doesn't smash your balls. Make sure to hold your hands across your chest and make sure to keep your hands and feet inside of the time tube at all times. At all times, including when you're time traveling.
The Cameron brothers traveled back to 1943 and turned off the generators on the USS Eldridge by smashing the transmitters and cutting any cables they could find.
So remember, they time traveled. The moment this happened, they time traveled to first it was 2137. Then it was 2700. Then it was back to 1983.
Well,
then they go
back to 2137 and then back to 1983.
1983. Then
I'm paying attention.
Yes, and then back to the moment in which they first moved. So they literally went through the time tunnel and then came back right behind where they were into a time tunnel onto the USS Eldridge to stop the whole thing.
Yeah, and then they did it. They destroyed everything, and everything was just back to normal. Now, I suppose Ed Cameron had his fill of time travel because he stayed in 1943 after the mission was completed. But Duncan Cameron returned to the Montauk Project in 1983, although it was suggested by author Peter Moon that Duncan had been programmed to return by evil Montauk Project scientists.
And how you knew? His accent changed. I'm sorry, Ed. I've got to go back to the future. That's where I'm needed. I'll miss you, brother.
But here, of course, is where things start to get weird.
Oh!
See, when Duncan returned to the year 1983, he found that he had been severed from the time stream and had therefore begun aging an entire year with every hour that passed. As a result, he soon found himself dying from the effects of extreme aging. Kind of like
aging.
Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah. This reminds me a lot of Beetlejuice.
Yeah. So, to save Duncan's life, the scientists at Montauk supposedly used a time portal to contact Duncan Cameron's father in the year 1951. They then convinced Duncan's father to have another son that very year, as it was extremely important that he impregnate a woman before the year was out.
Quick! Assault the woman! Save this boy!
Oh boy, I hope I have enough soup after I assaulted that woman this morning.
The plan, you see, was to have Duncan's father birth a son in 1951, because that way the boy would be 12 years old in 1963, which, if you'll remember, was one of Duncan's 20-year cycle time travel anchor years.
Exactly.
And so Duncan's father followed the directive and got his wife pregnant in 1951.
I'm fucking coming shit out my dick. I'm fucking shooting cum on my butt.
Some people come normally, but not this guy.
It just runs in the family.
And when the new Duncan turned 12 years old in 1963, the consciousness of the old Duncan, the one dying from time sickness, was transferred into the body of the new 12-year-old Duncan.
Yeah, so they had to kill that 12-year-old, throw him in the trash.
They don't say what happened to the consciousness of the 12-year-old.
They killed the
the boy.
12-year-old. They had to kill the boy to make room for another boy.
But no, they can't kill the boy because they need the body of the boy, and the boys, they just push the consciousness out into the ether.
You wipe what makes the boy, and then you insert a new boy into what used to be the old boy and make a new boy.
What is life?
But that's all to say that this body swap is how Duncan Cameron was able to make the claim that he was one of the scientists involved with the Philadelphia experiment, which, of course, occurred 8 years before Duncan Cameron was actually born in the year 1951.
Well, maybe they put the consciousness of this other boy into old, deteriorating Duncan.
I think they told the other boy that his personality was going to be put in a nice field where it could run and fly, and they're all like, "Oh, you saw me, son?" You're like, "Oh yeah, oh definitely," and then just killed that boy.
Yeah, I actually never did think about that. They probably did just switch the minds, and they just doomed a 12-year-old to die a horrible death. in an old man's body.
Because that consciousness exists.
Dude.
So it has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
So they are basically saying, we killed a boy.
Montauk Project was
kill a boy.
entirely about killing and making boys invisible.
I know, but one of the boys, though, is now saying that they killed the boy.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he felt very sorry about it. In his tour of the abandoned Montauk Project, Duncan Cameron starts going, "I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry."
Well, as long as he
feeling the walls
apologized.
and stuff. Yeah.
he did
There's shelves. You should watch this tour. It's 2.5 hours long, and it's Preston Nichols going, "And here are the shelves in which they put the Montauk boys. You could hear the screaming. And over here, you could see the lockers where they held some of the boys. They were in there with padlocks. And over here, you see some more lockers for the boys." It's all just like weird wooden structures. You know?
Duncan, however, was not the only member of the Cameron family to go through the body swap process, and he was not the only one who was also directly involved in the Montauk Project. Now remember that Duncan's brother, Ed Cameron, he supposedly stayed behind in 1943. At some point, Ed was made to forget everything that happened with the Philadelphia experiment and his time travel adventures to the year 2749, and he was soon after supposedly transferred to work on the Manhattan Project. Ed Cameron, however, bumped heads with one of the other scientists and was removed from the project that built the world's first atomic bomb. Ed then started his own business building the first ion propulsion engine, but that project ran afoul of the interests of the United States government for one reason or another. So a Black Ops team disappeared Ed, and the government sent Ed through a space portal to Alpha Centauri 1 by calling in a favor with one of the various alien races with whom they'd signed interstellar treaties. You know how that goes.
Oh, yeah, you could tack one of the things on there. That's one of the additionals on there. And you can tack that in. It's in late negotiations.
Why do aliens believe in treaties? There's no law upholding it.
It's for us, Eddie.
Yes.
But
they
it's
do
'cause
it
we
for-
believe
But they
in
could
treaties.
give a shit.
Yeah, of course. That's why we'll never know what their actual agendas are.
Yeah, we can pull it. They can pull out at any time. We don't know what they're really up to. We're just trusting them because we get Wi-Fi.
Yeah, because the UN holds nothing over them.
You know those things the OnlyFans girls use where they put it in their buttholes and their vaginas and they can pulse electronically from far away?
Sure.
It's aliens.
Oh, yeah.
Where would we be?
Well, that's what they get in the deal.
Once on Alpha Centauri, Ed Cameron was experimented upon by aliens. But the final indignation came when Ed Cameron was brought back to Montauk and put through a series of age regression procedures that reduced him back to a small infant. Infant Ed was then sent back in time to the year 1927, where he was placed with a new family and renamed Al Bielek.
I could just see them looking at this infant and being like, call him Al! Just throwing and bowling him into the time tunnel. Oh, God.
It's all Paul Simon songs. Yeah. Duncan, what's his name? Call me Al.
Oh my God, Eddie! I'm not even joking. That might be one of the keys to this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, if there's a guy named Julio in the story somewhere, I'm gonna shit.
Yeah, because that means Preston Nichols was just obsessed with the fucking what was it?
Well, but the movie by Mike Nichols, The Graduate?
No, the other one that has. Oh my God, that's another one. Graceland.
Yeah.
Wow, is this all Graceland based? Is this Graceland DLC?
As long as it's not Rhythm of the Saints.
Oh yeah.
Now, you conspiracy heads out there probably know the name Al Bielek, because along with Preston Nichols and Duncan Cameron, Al Bielek is the third public voice in the Montauk Project. Arguably, Al Bielek is the most well-known of the conspiracy theorists here.
Of all of them, because Al Bielek mostly is known for the Philadelphia experiment.
Yeah.
He's the one that put all the Philadelphia experiment stuff out there. That was like his thing. And it wasn't until Preston Nichols started talking that Al Bielek started being like, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so they all started putting their stories together.
You can almost say that they were still crazy after all these years.
Oh, my God. We have to be careful. We have to be careful. And Paul Simon, where's Art Garfunkel?
Well, supposedly, this is Al Bielek's story. After being sent back to 1927 to grow up a second time, Bielek was recruited by the Navy out of high school towards the end of World War II, and he eventually began working in the corners of the military that dealt with psyops and extraterrestrials. But because of his work with aliens, Bielek was also close friends with conspiracy theorist Phil Schneider, who we talked about extensively in our Aliens Attack episode. Interestingly, though, Phil Schneider claimed that his father was a former Nazi scientist who brought his work on Nazi time travel to America, where he applied that Nazi time travel knowledge to what else but the Philadelphia experiment.
God damn it. Can you imagine hanging out with all these guys? Like what it's like to hang out with Phil Schneider and light his cigar because he can't. He must be so afraid of fire. Do you think he's like Frankenstein's monster? He's like, no!
I know if you're hanging out with these guys, you got to pick up the check. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, buddy. And it better be. You might need to throw in some gas money as well.
Now, just so we're clear on the body swaps, let's review.
Thank you.
Duncan Cameron and Ed Cameron both traveled through time, but the side effects of time travel caused Duncan to age rapidly, and his consciousness was therefore transferred to the body of his own 12-year-old brother in 1963, who had been conceived by Duncan and Ed's father at the request of the United States government. Got it?
Got it? Yeah.
Yeah, come out the butt, shit out the dick.
Kill the boy.
Kill the boy, yes. Ed Cameron, meanwhile, was purposefully de-aged into an infant by that same government after going through the time travel and coming back to 1943. Then he was taken back in time to the year 1927, where he was raised under the name of Al Bielek. So Al Bielek and Ed Cameron are the same person, just de-aged and grown up in a different time. And where all this comes together is that Al Bielek, who, if you'll remember, is formerly Ed Cameron, he was eventually recruited into the Montauk Project along with the rest of them, where he worked as a scientist primarily concerned with the operations of the Montauk chair. Like Preston Nichols, Bielek also claimed to have met Mark Hamill in Hawaii in the 1950s, although I'm still entirely unclear on just what role Mark Hamill is supposed to play here, other than being a guy who just shows up every once in a while. I don't know. They just keep bringing up Mark Hamill, but they never say what he did.
He's there to force the boys into the chair.
Absolutely.
With the Force.
Yes.
Yeah.
Excellent. Mm-hmm. But I don't think Mark Hamill has that ability. It depends
Mark Hamill is an actor.
He's not a Jedi.
Great actor.
Yeah. And I believe he can talk any boy into any chair he wants. But I don't think Mark Hamill's trying to. I think that these guys just really wish they had met Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, Al Bielek, a.k.a. Ed Cameron, he claimed that when he began working on the Montauk Project, he actually lived in California, but he commuted to Long Island every day via a magnetic levitation subway train that traversed the country in just 2 hours. Eventually, though, the train was replaced with an underground time tunnel machine. The technology that made the time tunnel possible was what else but the Montauk chair, which, by this point, was being operated by none other than Al Bielek's supposed brother, Duncan Cameron.
Yes.
So, if the train goes underground, why does it have to be time traveling?
Because otherwise it can't travel fast enough.
No, it was first a magnetic levitation subway train that traveled through magnets.
Yeah, and that was
underground.
Underground. It was levitating underground.
It was levitating underground.
Okay.
It levitated over the tracks.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because of the magnets,
Okay.
which made the magnets also make it go real fast.
Making the train real light.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But then it was replaced. But then it's just a time tunnel, and they just walk through the time tunnel.
They just farted it out.
But they're not going through time, they're going through space.
They're
Yes,
using
time
time
and
to
space.
travel. Time and space.
Yeah,
Time is space.
Yeah, they're using time to travel through space.
Time is what it takes for you to travel through space.
I guess so.
You know what? I'm going to take that. I guess so.
I can't wait to see the fucking emails we get every single time we try to talk science on this show. And this
isn't science.
I know it's not.
This isn't, don't worry about it.
I already am hearing like people that know science being like, "That's not how the magnets work." And
Of
it's like,
course it's not.
None of this is real.
Yeah.
It's some of it. Who knows? Some of it might be real, but none of it is fully real.
Montauk exists.
It does.
Now, I have no idea how Duncan Cameron made his way back into the Montauk Project, whether his younger self was recruited or kidnapped or what, because Duncan Cameron was extremely vague on many extremely important plot points such as this. What we do know is that at some point in the early 70s, Duncan Cameron had somehow become an extremely powerful psychic. He was therefore one of the Montauk Project's most important assets, although it does seem like he was being forced to use the Montauk chair against his will.
At first, he was excited, and he was engaged. Partially, it was the way that Preston Nichols described Duncan Cameron as he's a guy that can literally only focus on one thing at a time. And what he meant by that was that he said that Duncan Cameron had a special ability. It wasn't even necessarily that he was psychic. Is that he was so well able to concentrate and without anybody else's interference that he could create pictures in his mind and hold them no matter what you did to him. You could fucking hit him in the knees with a stick. You could fucking pull on his belly. You know what I mean? You could give him wet willies and stuff. And he's still thinking about it. And he's locked in. And because what they figured out is the reason why they need a human mind to do any of this stuff is because technically it's too difficult to do the math and the science to make it up. But if you just think about it and you make up a time tunnel in your brain, you're doing all the work just by thinking about it. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't have the technology to build it, but if you just think about it being real and you have a psychic materialist machine that can make it real, then it becomes real because you're just thinking about it and it's using your mind thoughts.
Power of positive thinking.
No, it's the actual making of the thing. It's the power of the visualization of your mind.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That makes sense. Michael Jackson used to write his songs by just like humming them, and then Quincy Jones would make it.
And then the kid goes like, "Hey, let me go."
Hey, get him.
We'll cut that part, and then we'll keep the rest of it. Okay, but I think it'll work.
Well, I'm also unsure if Al Bielek and Duncan Cameron knew that they were supposedly brothers while they were in Montauk.
They didn't know.
They didn't know. But the important thing to know here is that Al Bielek claims that he was the program director in charge of the psychics who manned the Montauk chair. He's sort of like the Matthew Modine character in Stranger Things. So, to recap one more time, we're now back in the late 70s, where Al Bielek, a.k.a. Ed Cameron, was controlling the mechanisms behind the Montauk chair, while his supposed brother, Duncan Cameron, was sitting in the chair itself, operating as the psychic battery. And yes, they did say over and over again, you said that Preston Cameron said that it wasn't that he was psychic, but in the books, they refer to him as a powerful psychic like thousands of times.
Preston Nichols downplays Duncan Cameron's abilities sometimes because I believe that Duncan Cameron annoys Preston Nichols. In all of the footage,
He just needs to take him down a peg or two.
Constantly is negging Duncan Cameron. He's constantly being like, and that's what Duncan does.
Yeah.
Like, he always saying weird, like, kind of like hits.
Passive aggressive.
He's catching strays for no reason. There's like a whole section where it's like, and here's Duncan's pet. Like, they're going through the Montauk area, and then he focuses on a daddy long-legged spider, and he's like, and there's Duncan Cameron's pet. There's Duncan's pet that he's forcing me to take a picture of. And then it cut over to him going, Duncan Cameron was just going, I believe acting out the monster. Like, he was doing this thing. And he's like, there's Duncan being Duncan. Like, it's all like, they're just talking shit.
What Duncan could have used is a Montauk treadmill.
Now, once the Montauk chair moved beyond influencing the thoughts of the person sitting in it, it was discovered that the chair could be used to read the mind of the user, although that person did need to be a powerful psychic for the chair to properly work. The psychic would think specific thoughts, which the Montauk chair computers would, quote-unquote, catch and translate to a display monitor. But as the scientists learned more about the Montauk chair and the alien technology contained therein, they found they could use the chair to amplify thoughts and minds to achieve incredible things. So by 1977, the transmitter system for the Montauk chair could be used to receive and transmit any and all psychoactive functions. And it seemed like the sky was the limit as long as Duncan Cameron was the psychic in the seat.
And I can't stress enough, the Montauk chair, when I first thought of this, I was like, oh, it's going to be a big, ornate, fun-looking sci-fi chair.
Massive, got to be like 10 feet tall at least.
It's a recliner.
Crazy boy.
It is literally
Crazy boy, yeah. It's
chair.
Long Island after all.
It is just exactly the same chair my uncle sat in. We met Rob's family today. I know your father has a chair that he sits in, right?
He's got one.
Right?
Yeah, he's got a chair.
My father has a chair that no one else is allowed to sit in. It's my father's chair. No one would sit in it because for some reason the chair itself has become disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's melting his balls into it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so that's the Montauk chair.
Oh, okay. That's just a recliner.
It is just a tasty Long Island artifact.
I imagined something that was sort of like the Game of Thrones chair, like the Game of Thrones throne, but except made out of like electronics, and and there's all sorts of like monitors and shit attached to it.
It's a brown recliner.
I was expecting like a metal chair with like an electrocution helmet on.
I swear to God, it's a fucking they just went down the street to one of those like dumb shit Long Island furniture stores.
Bob's Discount Furniture?
Yeah.
Great. Well,
it's not really the chair that makes the chair. It's all the stuff around it and the guy in it.
Well, the first seemingly impossible thing that Duncan Cameron claimed to have achieved was the ability to concentrate on just the thought of an object, and using nothing but the power of his mind, he claimed that he could produce said object out of thin air. That is, I would imagine that's what it sounds like. Sounds like when something comes from another dimension.
There's a dumb buffalo.
Put it back.
Well, the results of this thought matter transformation, however, were mixed. Sometimes it was said that Duncan could conjure up just the image of an object, which would disappear as soon as the Montauk chair was turned off. But once Duncan got really good at creating matter out of pure thought, the objects would be solid, and they would remain long after the experiment ended. And it was even said that he could make new buildings appear on the grounds of the Montauk base.
Would have been helpful after 9/11.
They really straight up. Too much of a flex, Eddie. You can't do it all at once. It's just a giant building that just says, like,
Go
Psychic
ahead,
Emporium.
set some more planes. See if I don't think of 2 more buildings, you fucking idiots.
We just print that shit.
On the more Stranger Things side of the Montauk Project, Duncan claimed that in an experiment called the Seeing Eye, he could use an object that belonged to a person, like a lock of hair, and use that object as a conduit that would allow him to see, hear, and feel everything that his target experienced.
Do you feel that when we were younger, the idea of people giving and using locks of hair for things was like a much bigger thing?
Yeah.
And now I have not held a lock of someone's hair in a very long time.
No, I think it died with our... I think it died actually with the generation before us, because no one ever gave me a lock of hair.
Yeah, who would ever give anybody a lock of hair? Has anybody done that? Your mom probably has.
I have photo albums that my mom put together with locks of hair, like in the photo album.
Yeah. I don't know what it was with locks of hair in the 80s, 70s, and 80s.
Yeah, it was back to the 30s, 40s, 50s. Like people have been doing locks. Like it's just us. You know, it's another thing millennials killed. We killed the lock of hair industry.
Yeah.
I blame us.
One after another. Well, Duncan claimed that he could use the Seeing Eye experiment to find anyone on the planet, 99 times out of 100, if his powers were amplified by the Montauk chair. And he even claimed that he could control people if he took his powers to the limits. Duncan, however, said that he could only reach the height of his powers by tapping into his secret CIA, NSA, psychosexual training.
Yes, my brother taught me.
He said that he could put himself into a state of orgasmic trance by presumably tapping into Wilhelm Reich's orgone energies. And when he was in this state, he claimed that he was far more pliable for experiments.
So NSA psychosexual training.
Yeah.
It's basically just to like watch chicks in the shower.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what they do best. Well, it's what this is, man. This is gooning.
Yo, it is gooning.
This is the power of gooning.
Yeah.
And that's what this whole Montauk Project is literally powered by gooning. And that you have to stay in a perpetually semi-hard state, which is just got to be exhausting for a while, especially for a man in a beret. That he's just sitting there just absolutely, what would make him hard? I imagine thinking about trains and I think Duncan Cameron would be super into Miss Piggy. You know what I mean? For some reason in my mind, I could see him fucking Muppets.
I'm guessing sandwiches.
Yeah. Oh, sure. No, that's Preston Nichols.
Yeah, Preston's more into... Preston's the big boy. Duncan Cameron, yeah.
He's the skinny boy.
Yeah. Now, the experiments with Duncan Cameron and the Montauk chair continued in a sort of scattershot way to see what stuck, although most of the time it seemed like Duncan was focusing his psychic energies on the poor local people of Montauk. It was said that Duncan could make TVs malfunction, and he could use telekinesis to destroy random rooms around town like a poltergeist, and could even make windows shatter at will.
This is what's happening in my fucking childhood home. This is what was fucking going on. It's why my mom was always like, all I ever do is clean. It wasn't us.
It was Duncan.
Yeah.
No, so you think he was reaching into Queens?
Oh, definitely. Woodhaven's not that far.
I guess it's not.
No.
Yeah.
I was born close to Long Island. I was born in the Jamaica Hospital.
Yeah. And my wife was born in Long Island.
Nice.
Queens is the end of Long Island.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were born on Long Island.
Close.
But
I'm from Queens, not from Long Island.
But Queens is in Long Island.
But that's not where that is. It's called Long Island. Long Island's only called a certain area once you get past a certain area of Queens.
But it's all on the same island.
It is.
Yep. Good.
Yeah. So it's the same thing.
Fucking ground to a goddamn halt.
Well, Duncan also claimed that he could influence conscious creatures. He said he could cause animals from the surrounding wooded areas to invade Montauk, or he could influence citizens to embark on spontaneous crime waves that would stop just as suddenly.
You know what no one's ready for, neither one of you dickheads is ready for, is how this whole thing created the Amityville horror case as well.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not ready for that.
It's a whole side angle. This whole...
Do they mention that?
Dude, you just have to read this stuff long enough. And then anything that has taken place in the tri-state area can be applied to the Montauk Project.
Yes.
And that is the entire storyline. You ask me, how did the Montauk Project create the Amityville horror case?
How did the Montauk Project create the Amityville horror case?
It did.
It just seems like Duncan's telekinesis is his excuse for getting drunk and breaking everything.
It very well, it's a great excuse.
Now, unfortunately for Duncan Cameron, using the Montauk chair came at a price. Supposedly, since he was bombarded with intense radio and microwaves every time he used it, his brains and chest were being slowly cooked over time. Duncan claimed that this so-called cooking was so intense that he had become effectively brain dead by the year 1986. He said he consulted with a neurologist and a group of psychics who all confirmed that, well, yes, his brain was dead. His body and consciousness were still functioning at a relatively normal rate.
I need this done. I need to go talk to these guys. Yes, sir, the brain is dead, but your legs did carry you here.
And supposedly, Duncan's doctor told him that the only way it was possible for Duncan to be brain dead, yet still apparently alive, was because of his strong psychic powers.
I knew it. I knew I would be.
According to the doctor, the experiments had killed his living body, but his psychic self took over and held him together. So while his brainstem and spinal cord were alive, his actual brain was dead as a doornail.
That, I believe.
I just want to ask, is there any way to switchy flip those? I have the other side be alive, and the other side be dead, huh? Can we do a flippy switch? Is there a flippy switch machine?
Why would you want the flippy switch?
Because right now I can't do things like laugh or dance or I guess dream or smile. I mostly just work.
And frown.
Yes. My brain is dead. My brain is dead and I can't think of anything anymore. What do I think about? I don't even know how I'm talking. That's the thing. He's talking.
Yeah, he's talking.
He's hanging out.
No, it's because it's his psychic self that's doing all of it.
Yeah.
It's a great excuse on how to fall asleep mid-conversation.
I have to start. This is important, guys. You need to start writing this shit down.
Sorry, don't mean to be rude. It's just that, my brain was cooked by all these experiments I was involved in 1986.
What is this, a fucking Gen Z fucking guy here?
Now, Duncan supposedly spent 2 years doing all sorts of psychic experiments at the Montauk Project, but in 1979, his psychic thoughts suddenly stopped, or so they thought. Eventually, the scientists figured out that Duncan Cameron's thoughts, like the sailors involved in the Philadelphia experiment, had just entered a different time stream. So, Duncan refocused his energies and concentrated on using this accidental bridge to create an opening in time. Supposedly, Duncan opened up his first portal in 1980, which created a 10-year bridge to the next decade. This tunnel was said to look more or less like what you'd see in the TV show Sliders. And a person could apparently just stroll through the tunnel just so long as Duncan kept concentrating on it.
But it was extremely difficult for him to concentrate on the tunnel. The tunnel took a lot of psychic energy for him to hold up, which is actually like one of the big problems of this whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
Because it's all depending on Duncan Cameron. And then you look over and you think about this entire, again, imagine all this is real.
I am.
And then, I'm saying the audience. Imagine all this is real. And then you have this $10 billion funded program by Nazi Gold that a lot of pressure's on a lot of people to figure what's going on here out, right? You got the whole thing. You got to make these time tunnels. You're obviously building a lot of plans of this now. But then you look at your go-to guy, the guy that's supposed to get the fucking rock, and the guy that's supposed to have the buzzer beater, and you look at him and the fat, brown, lazy boy recliner that he's sitting in with a fucking colander strapped to his head, and it's fucking Duncan Cameron going, I hope today that we could go to the year 4000. And they're like, oh, great. Oh, good. This is him?
Now, within a year, the Montauk Project had all but refocused the whole operation to time travel. Briefly, they rebranded themselves as Phoenix 3.
Whoa!
Complete with a brand new secret crew who'd been tapped to explore Duncan's time portals.
This is where you bring in the Sydney Sweeney. This is where you bring in the Zendaya. This is the whole second crew. This is the new generation. This is their fourth season.
Yeah. For some reason, though, some of the Montauk scientists decided that along with the highly trained military crew, they'd send a few Montauk boys into the time vortex.
Yeah! Yeah, I can't wait to go. Yeah, fuck yeah. Let's go. Yeah, you bet. I don't want to live. I don't got a future anyway.
The boys, ages 9 to 16, of course, got lost in the time.
Just like boys floating through time.
So the scientists, they sent in a local boy completely outside of the project to go round up all the other boys and bring them home. And once they got back, one boy claimed that he'd traveled as far as the year 6037.
Wow! That's a big TV. Wow, you guys got TVs, huh? That's great.
How would he know?
Hey, it's right there. Look, it says right there. It's a calendar.
You know what I do have an answer, though.
But some Montauk boys were unfortunately lost forever in the time stream.
I just love this idea of a portal opens up. This is a big time. And then you just grab a kid just getting done playing fucking stickball to go. And then they're throwing him in there. He doesn't come back. But this whole thing revolves around this. You heard about this idea how they test the Montauk boys to see if they're working?
How they test them?
What they do is to see if the time tunnel's working. They throw them in the tube.
They throw the Montauk boy into the tube.
Into the tube. And then they send him to the same year to calibrate their time travel. They send him to the same year. I think it's in that 2700 year range. And they're supposed to find a horse statue.
Okay.
That's in a field. And then they read the plate on the plaque on the horse statue. And then when they come back, if they could say the exact sentence that was on the horse statue, they knew the time travel worked.
But what if the boys is really fucking stupid?
I can't read.
Yeah, or you forget.
Gosh, we got to interview these
Sea
boys.
biscuit. That's not a biscuit. That's a horse.
I'll take a little boy from Montauk.
That future's stupid.
All right. Time travel question.
Great.
All right. 6037. The world could be gone by then. We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on.
Civilization, at the very least, could be gone.
What if you time travel to a time Earth is blowing up, swallowed by the sun? When you time travel there, are you just floating in space?
Yes.
Well, that's
where the Earth should have been?
Well, that's the thing. That's also one of the questions of time travel, is if you travel through time, if the Earth is constantly moving towards space, so there's the idea that if you travel forward in time and you don't time it just correctly, then you will end up floating in space because you're traveling from the specific point that you're at, but the Earth is not there anymore.
So you would have to go to the exact time and minutes.
Space.
Yeah, you'd have to do a lot of calculations to make sure. You can't travel to any time. You have to travel to one that would correspond with the Earth being in that specific spot.
Why do you think Duncan Cameron was so tired?
Yes.
This is extremely hard for him. He has never had a job.
So it would always have to be on April 10th, if I try and time travel today.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Depends on the Earth's rotation.
Oh, yeah, and there's leap years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which makes the Earth fucking twice its size.
Yeah.
You know that?
Yeah, and then all of a sudden I'm in Monterey.
What am I doing? I'm gonna miss when the Beach Boys started. I was here for the Beach Boys' first concert, but all I gotta do now is fight World War II.
Rise from your grave.
Last Podcast on the Left is excited to collaborate with Audible. Audible has a massive range of ad-free crime fiction, nonfiction, and true crime podcasts. There's so many things you could do while you're listening to an audiobook. You can clean up your own personal crime scene. And that's easy to do, and you can learn it all from books. Some people also listen to audiobooks to go to sleep. But you could check out podcasts like This American Life, titles from true crime greats like Michael Connelly and Agatha Christie, and Audible originals like Dr. Death, The Cowboy. You can find whatever you're looking for on Audible. Plus, you can multitask while you do it. Find your next mystery on Audible. Audible. Stories that speak to you. New members can start listening with a 30-day free trial at audible.com/left. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. it's so important to remember with the busyness of the holidays, every holiday, Arbor Day, that day about the planet, President's Day. There's so many things to adapt to in this life, and it doesn't follow a perfect plan. God, ruins the whole weekend. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, it can be a space to pause, reevaluate, and adjust to any unexpected changes. With over 30,000 therapists worldwide, BetterHelp is one of the leading online therapy platforms, having served millions of people globally. BetterHelp makes it easier to fit therapy into your routine. You're in good hands, too. BetterHelp therapists have at least 3 years and 1,000 hours of hands-on experience, and hold all required education, training, and certifications. It's easy to do, and the help is better over there. You don't have to navigate life's changes alone. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/lastpod. That's betterhelp.com/lastpod. Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherry wood tree from Fast Growing Trees, and my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it, and next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planting essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Now, before long, the Montauk Project figured out how to use the time vortex tunnels to travel not only through time, but space as well. Although, again, it seems like this ability was discovered entirely by accident.
Technically, time travel is the same as traveling through space.
Technically, sure. While Duncan was...
This fucking guy. I get it.
While Duncan was opening time portals sometime in the early 80s, he suddenly found himself opening direct portals to the planet Mars. And it was discovered that Mars was filled to the brim with pyramids.
Can't even you can't walk down the street Mars without fucking tripping over a pyramid.
The pyramids on Mars are supposedly pretty much the same pyramids that we have here on Earth.
But cold.
Super cold.
Yeah, super cold. But they're both filled with ancient alien technology. But while the pyramids on Earth have all been plundered by other alien races, the pyramids on Mars were sealed with extra security. So all that ancient alien technology, shit's up for grabs.
Yeah, dude.
So to try and access the technology, Duncan Cameron used the Montauk chair to travel first to the year 1943, for reasons unexplained.
He missed it. He missed the tax rate.
Then he used the chair to open a vortex directly inside the Mars pyramids, where he found a sort of defense system that was keeping aliens out of our solar system.
It's apparently this amazing thing. I don't know what it is. It's called ADT. The code is 1111.
Duncan turned the system off, again, for reasons unexplained. And that, Duncan claims, is why UFOs began turning up on Earth en masse starting in the 1940s, because he went back in time and turned off the security system on Mars in 1943.
Did he say I'm sorry?
Did he say I'm sorry?
For this one, I don't think he did.
No, he said I'm sorry to the boys.
Yeah.
And I bet you one of those boys was Barack Obama. because Barack Obama was on Mars as a part of a different time-traveling boys scenario on the Project Serpo storyline, which was all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
Barack Obama was a Project Serpo boy that was trained in space/time travel, and he actually was on the planet Mars. He was a part of the team scooping up that ancient technology from those pyramids.
And if you don't believe that, you can just check his birth certificate.
Yeah, you go ahead and believe another word out of the mouth of Barack Hussein Obama.
Now, after many years of using the Montauk chair, it seems like Duncan had finally had his fill of the Montauk experience by 1983.
I'm just kind of burnt out.
It's unclear whether what happened next was planned or spontaneous, but Duncan claims that through the power of his mind, he was able to shut down the whole project in just one day.
Yeah, dude, he was fucking sick of that shit, dude. Fucking take this job and shove it.
On August 12, 1983, Duncan was supposedly strapped down in the chair for an experiment, but for some reason, he began imagining a fearsome monster.
Is it Conan O'Brien?
The fearsome monster was a massive humanoid creature standing 9 feet tall, with a long snout, small eyes, and a mouthful of sharp teeth. People describe it as looking like the most aggressive Sasquatch imaginable.
So it was Conan O'Brien.
He's just like, Duncan Cameron is just like, it's a very cartoony sounding monster.
Yeah. But just as Duncan was imagining it, the creature supposedly conjured itself into existence right in the middle of the lab, where it wrecked everything in its path and actually began eating any Montauk scientists it could get its hands on.
Finally, someone's killing these Nazis.
Well, he did, like, they had a pad, right? So they had a thing where they were developing it, and eventually they used the time travel portal to squirt things out of it. They had a special receiving area that would be like a 3D printer for a bunch of all these things that he was making up, and that was when the monster came through.
Right.
And that was before, because it was, I guess it's like Preston Nichols, because again, Preston Nichols says he did not organize anything.
No.
His job was to run the ones and zeros on the chair. That's what he did, right? He's just a tech guy.
So who organized it? Von Neumann?
Von Neumann.
Yeah. Von Neumann and Al Bielek.
And all the people above, all the people that we don't know above all of this, right? And the wing makers, the robots from the future. And so it's all real. And so this came out, he was already feeling upset because Duncan Cameron was watching all of these boys disappear. Mm-hmm. And he missed the boys. And the boys were his friends. The boys were the only ones talking to him because he was some lonely Long Island weirdo. And there's a bunch of, like, Long Island weirdos for some reason always sort of attract like a bunch of like weird fanboys.
Yeah. Yeah, actually that does happen quite a bit.
You know, I know it's
like
probably grooming in a way, but
strange old men. No. I hung out with plenty of strange old men when I was a kid.
No, I know that.
Yeah.
And
nothing happened.
Okay.
He'd be talking about it if it happened.
Yeah. You'd know if it happened. Yeah. No,
unless you had your mind wiped.
No, there was really only one of them that I think came close. All the rest, he was definitely grooming me with basketball cards.
Oh, yeah. We know that story.
Without a doubt. But yeah, most of them were just weird, lonely old men who like speaking with boys.
You know, they exist.
They do. Kids, you can hang out. It's hard these days. It's not the same.
It's much harder. Yeah, I think that 90s was the last time that
you could really just hang out with a boy all day.
Yeah,
I have no one saying
that a weird single old man could hang out with a boy all day long and it was fine. In fact, people paid him to do so.
You know what I wish that we could do in this generation that we can't do? It's entirely innocent, but I miss it. Seeing a random little boy in the street, giving him $10 and say, "Go get something from the store for me. Come back."
Yeah,
like a mobster.
I miss that.
Yeah,
that's nice. That's very nice. We had a guy in our neighborhood who used to take all the kids to the movies all the time. Imagine that happening today.
Jeez,
he was a solo dude. He was a solo-ass dude living by himself.
God,
and he would take us all to the movies. And we'd come back and be like, Oliver Company was great. And, I mean, I'm fine.
Yeah, you didn't get got. And I feel like there was a lot of home. You ever go to a home babysitter that had a bunch of other kids in it?
Yeah.
My mom did that.
It's called an unlicensed daycare.
Yes. A lot of Montauk boys.
No, that was actually, yeah, when I was 5, I went to one of those, and in order to keep me quiet while the other kids were taking naps, the woman who ran the place just let me watch Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom over and over and over and over again.
That's a cool babysitter.
I thought you were going to say tied you to a chair.
Now, back to the creature. Accounts vary as to how large this creature supposedly was.
Super big. It is also very funny to hear Preston Nichols go, the monster came through here each time. And you can see here at the height of the monster. We're saying it's anywhere from 9 feet to 30 feet. Everybody's got something different. Everyone was seeing the monster from different angles.
Yeah, they did. Some people said it was 9 feet. Some people said it was 3 stories tall. But what we do know, supposedly, is that when the creature appeared and began its rampage, our hero from episode 1, Preston Nichols, was in the room.
You stop, monster! Choose peace! Choose peace, monster!
Well, by Preston's account, the creature, which he later named Junior, was probably 10 feet tall. But even though Preston was terrified, he said that he was ordered to shut down the transmitters in an attempt to send the monster back to the netherworld.
Yeah, he knew he was 10 feet tall because he could dunk a basketball at him.
And honestly, super humiliating because I never played horse with the Bigfoot. Yeah, what are we going to do about it?
There was, however, a hitch here. See, in order for Preston's powerful psychic energies to work at maximum power, he had to connect with a past version of himself. And apparently, this whole time, Duncan's 1943 version had just been hanging around on the USS Eldridge next to a transmitter, and the two versions were working together. But since Duncan was too busy conjuring the monster, there was no one available to open a time vortex to 1943 to tell the other Duncan to turn off the transmitter on his side.
See, common mistake.
That's why you have redundancies.
That's why you got to plan.
So, when Preston Nichols was given the order to shut it all down, he took the same approach Duncan and Ed had taken when they had to shut down the Philadelphia experiment, which was to basically run around and wreck shit until the power turned off. As such, after cutting numerous wires and turning off every transmitter and electrical transformer he could find, Preston Nichols was finally successful in making the beast disappear, but not before the beast wrecked the lab and killed many of the scientists.
No! And the kids floated through space.
Imagine being a Montauk boy, like showing up and like, hey guys, I'm back from 2394.
Oh, God!
Oh, look at that big fucking...
Oh, yeah!
No, honestly, it's fun.
It is.
All of this is fun. This is like, they also said a lot of this, the difficult part was that because the U.S. Eldridge, according to USS Eldridge, never shut off.
Yeah.
That's like one of these things that they kind of say that like that experiment essentially destroyed and changed reality in a way that was real bad in this timeline. And that what it did is that it also made these things last a super long time. So it actually, when they said that when they finally cut all the power supplies off, I thought it was interesting that they said that the monster didn't immediately disappear. He like slowly part by part disappeared.
Now I'm imagining the red monster from Bugs Bunny.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the one I would do with this.
Yeah.
Now, following the beast rampage, in which it killed a fair amount of scientists, and I would imagine a whole slew of Montauk boys.
I'll die for you.
Just throw the Montauk boys at him again and again and again. The military allegedly decided that the Montauk Project was getting out of hand, so the entire operation was shut down. All evidence of the project was either sealed away in the 6 underground levels, allegedly below what is now Camp Hero State Park, or it was all carried away, while the Montauk Project technology was used to wipe the memories of everyone who worked on it, including Al Bielek, Duncan Cameron, and Preston Nichols. And these people were just sort of sent out into the world with wiped minds.
Good work, boys. Thanks for all your hard work here for the U.S. government. Now go be homeless.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.
Yeah, like when they wiped their minds, did they still know like English?
Yeah. No, they just wiped it. They were able to very specifically target only the parts in the Montauk Project. Everything else was still there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah. It's incredible.
I could lose a couple things.
I could lose a couple of things as well. Yeah. Now, the Montauk Project was supposed to stay buried, but Preston Nichols claimed to have found his way back to the Montauk site almost entirely by accident, despite having no memories of it. See, Preston said that while he was working for the Montauk Project, he was also working for a defense contractor named BJM as an electrical engineer.
It was Brookhaven. I forget what else it was. He did do that.
He was definitely an electrical engineer.
Yeah,
we
okay.
do know that. So, when the Montauk Project ended, Preston said he continued his life working for BJM, elsewhere on Long Island, I believe. But seemingly just a few months after his mind was wiped, Preston obtained a grant from someone to study telepathic communication.
Well, they said that, to be honest, he was such an attractive candidate for all of these super secret things because he got a master's in parapsychology from Long Island University, where he said that this was the most, he's like, they couldn't believe that I had my own master's degree in parapsychology. It's the only one ever given to anybody. Here from sweet, sweet Long Island.
Didn't he also claim to have a degree from the University of Tampa?
Yes.
Okay, and he didn't.
I don't know.
According,
I don't know any
according
of
to
the
dark
legit
files, they didn't.
I don't have the legit information.
Okay.
I have all of this information.
All right, I'm sorry. I'll retract my question.
Thank you.
Please save all reality-based questions for the end.
Yes.
See, according to Preston, the way that telepathy and radio waves work are similar. And since he was already an expert in frequencies, he had decided to branch out into studying paranormal phenomena by collaborating with psychics to see just how related these two things were. Now, Preston claimed that he soon discovered that there was a certain frequency that could jam psychic abilities just as one can jam radar. That's the 410 to 420 megahertz radio frequency. And some of Preston's local Long Island psychics were complaining about getting jammed up.
I'm fucking jammed up as fuck, dude. I've been trying to figure out. I ain't going in the restaurant to see if they got reservations open. I just want to know. I want to know if they got it open for 9 for 12 people because it's my sister's communion. She's coming through a whole thing. We're doing a whole thing. People come in from out of town.
You get jammed up because you're eating all that cheese.
That's the problem. And then I gotta have a little arugula that breaks it up, some prosciutto. It's too much mozzarella. That's the problem.
Well, in 1984, the year after the Montauk Project was supposedly shut down, Preston took a VHF receiver and drove around Long Island tracking this jamming frequency until he finally found the source. Preston claimed that the psychic jamming frequency was broadcasting from a radar antenna at Fort Hero Air Force Base on Montauk Point, which is, of course, the location of the Montauk Project. But remember, Preston had all of his memories of the Montauk Project wiped, so as far as he was concerned, when he showed up on Fort Hero, he'd never been there before in his life, even though he had, or so he claimed. So, when he began exploring the now abandoned base and found high voltage radio equipment, his interest was piqued.
Yeah.
Through the Surplus Disposal Agency, Preston tried buying this equipment, but the SDA couldn't find any record of the equipment existing. Eventually, Preston was contacted by a man with the suspiciously simple name of John Smith.
Whoa.
John Smith told Preston that no one officially owned the equipment, so as far as the SDA was concerned, Preston could just take it.
He literally could just go to the field and just take all the shit from this place.
That's the same thing that John Smith did with Pocahontas.
He did.
Additionally, the mysterious John Smith also gave Preston a piece of paper and told him to show it to anyone who might question why this corpulent Long Islander was plundering a military base.
You might want to look at my permission slip. They go and they look at it.
It's printed on paper.
And it's like, look at it, and they're like, you know what? We were all going to care about this. Just fucking get the fuck away from me and my partner. Okay?
John Smith signed this?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Oh, then definitely. Go right in. Go right over the 4.5-foot fence.
Now, once Preston got his free pass, he began bringing a psychic friend around Fort Hero. Eventually, they spoke with a caretaker, a man named Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
Who very helpfully showed Preston and his psychic around the grounds while encouraging them to take anything they wanted.
Take this, of course. Take this trash can. As you can see, I find garbage to be a virus.
This courtesy, however, was extended to just one single day. Mr. Anderson told Preston and his psychic friend that they could explore and take stuff, but if they came back a second time, Mr. Anderson was going to have to, quote, take Preston out.
Because I like you. And there's something about you that I wish that I had in a friend. And I wish we could go to dinner. And I wish that maybe after dinner, we could go get gelato.
And so, Preston and his psychic friend began exploring the base, where they soon ran into another man wandering the grounds, a man who appeared to be homeless.
It's just because I'm not inside.
This man, however, did have an incredible amount of information as to what had occurred on Camp Hero in the recent past.
I'll tell you everything about this whole stupid place, huh?
It's sort of like, like Chris Farley in Wayne's World. It's like, wow, he had a lot of information for a limo driver. Yeah. It's kind of like, this is that guy.
It's the exposition man.
Yeah. This mysterious, quite rough-looking man told Preston that the base had been used for all manner of experiments. Then he began rattling off a bevy of technical details about the machinery used in these experiments and how everything worked. The man then said that all of it had just come crashing down one day when, quote, a big beast appeared and frightened everyone away. The kicker, however, came when this obviously disturbed man told Preston Nichols that Preston had not only worked on projects in the very base in which they were standing, but that Preston had in fact been this man's boss.
Oh my God, somebody let me be a boss? Oh God, what a horrible timeline was that? I had trouble finding my suspenders this morning and it turned out they were on my shoulders. Because I couldn't see past my pendulous Long Island man tits. I shouldn't be in charge of a Jersey Mike's.
Now, Preston claims that he was skeptical about all the shit this mysterious man had told him.
I know, buddy. You smell like piss and you look like shit, but I gotta say, you're saying things I like because it means I was a boss of somebody.
It's all this man's fault.
And we're going to get to that here in a second. We're seriously going to get to that here in a bit.
Wow, I'm great.
Yeah. But when Preston asked his psychic to probe the man's mind, the psychic supposedly confirmed that everything Preston's alleged former employee said was true. Like,
Yes.
oh, he's telling the truth.
I can tell he's telling the truth, and you owe him a recommendation for working at Bally's Gym.
So, going off what his psychic friend found when delving into the mind of a ranting vagrant making claims of monsters and mind control on an abandoned military base, Preston was 100% on board with the idea and began investigating further.
Yeah, so you can hear now, Preston would come back on and on again. He'd go back to the Montauk base. Now, I found and sat and watched this 2-hour-long tour of the Montauk base. I was in the bath.
Okay.
You're bath.
I never felt so fat as I was sitting. I literally sat. I had a beer. I'm in the bath. I did the thing too where I look at my toes are out of the water. You know, like a big kind of fat style. I have a little head pillow I was wearing, and I sat and I'm watching my UFO documentaries, and I'm just sitting there watching it in the bath and stuff. And then
This
I was
is
like,
how you're gonna die.
I'm just a big fat
It's gonna
dumb
find
fuck.
you in a bathtub with a laptop electrocuted you.
No, it's on the sink.
Fucking slurry.
The laptop's on the sink or on the toilet.
Because it's shitting.
Into my mind.
This is the bunker where the Montauk Boys project was done. This is where the boys were actually stripped of their mind, and the mind was reformed through computers and reinserted in the body of the boy.
Yep. This is 2 hours of this pointing at random things inside of this building, and they put it to this very it's one of those things where I kind of almost feel bad for the younger generation because they don't get the magic of this.
Yeah.
This is a fully digitally captured VHS tape, and you really get the feeling of it. Like, you could see why it felt real if you were watching this on a shitty TV in your rumpus room. This would scare the fuck out of you.
Yeah, it looks crazy.
Yeah.
It does look real. It does look like something sinister went down there.
Oh, yeah, it's an abandoned military base that they somehow have total access to.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about
Nobody cares what's happening there.
Yeah, and the fence, again, is about 4 feet tall.
Which is about 3 feet higher than I can jump.
But all this, of course, his investigation of the tour, this came much later.
Yes.
Where we're at right now in the story, Preston Nichols is still just trying to figure out what went on. So he started with the town of Montauk itself. He went down, started talking to locals, and he soon discovered during his initial investigation that many locals actually recognized him. And furthermore, those locals had quite a few tales to tell about the strange things that supposedly happened in Montauk because of the base at Fort Hero. Allegedly, several people said that experiments at the base had caused snow to fall in the middle of the summer, and hurricane-force winds could be summoned in an instant, along with random lightning and hailstorms. More disturbing, though, was what the base was supposedly able to do with animals. At times, locals said that herds of animals would come marching into town in large groups and would sometimes come crashing through windows for no reason whatsoever.
We were in the middle of the local softball game of it was the plumbers union versus the firemen, and about 25 badgers came over one of the railings of the field, and my God, the blood. Watching those union guys, my proud union boys and my fire boys just beating the living fuck out of all these badgers, beating them to death with the baseball bats, spreading the blood everywhere. It was one of the craziest, honestly, even kind of think about it, we were laughing a lot.
Yeah.
But it was unexpected.
It was the day that Hooky Joe died of that heart attack.
Yeah! Because he was swinging on that badger.
He was swinging on a badger. You remember that?
Yeah,
I remember that,
Yeah.
Badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers.
That's from UHF.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Preston then supposedly spoke to the Montauk police chief, who told him that the town was plagued with sudden crime sprees that would end just as quickly. Teenagers, he said, would also act strangely, sometimes gathering in groups for up to 2 hours at a time before suddenly dispersing.
I can't stand the idea of people hanging out.
For up to 2 hours.
People just visit? Fuck that! Fuck that shit! Is this communist Russia? Oh, can I also add, at the end of all this, I just want to tack on a little bit of the real world stuff of watching the Gilgo Beach murder documentary on Netflix, talking about how the Suffolk County sheriffs they literally covered up the entire serial killer's reign to cover up the fact that they were visiting the same sex workers that the serial killer was, Rex Neuerman. And it seems to just kind of be a part of that.
Yeah.
All this could be all an extended part of that.
Same thing, yeah.
A little bit.
Put it.
So the Montauk boys are the serial killers in Long Island.
No, the Montauk boys are the boy sex workers. Let's say sex volunteers that they were forced through these scenarios and stuff. And they were super upset about it.
Yeah.
Because workers get paid.
You're right.
Yeah. Now, we don't know how or why, but in 1985, after Preston Nichols had been investigating the base at Fort Hero for about a year, Duncan Cameron showed up on Preston's doorstep.
Hello!
Duncan informed Preston that every suspicion he had about the Montauk Project was correct, and that they had, in fact, actually worked together numerous times on time travel experiments. Duncan, however, said that he was still a little fuzzy on the whole thing because his memories about the Montauk Project would phase in and out. But Preston claimed to have the ability to use hypnosis to recover repressed memories. So, with Preston's help, Duncan claimed that he was able to eventually remember the whole story of what really went down in Montauk. Now, from what it seems like to me, there is a sequence of actual real-life events that led to the creation of the Montauk Project story.
Sure.
All this is, of course, just my own speculation. See, as far as how Preston came to discover Fort Hero, there very well could have been some weird frequency coming from the grounds in 1984, because the base hadn't been shut down all that long, and it was possible that some equipment was still running somewhere. Preston Nichols was also probably researching the link between psychic abilities and radio frequencies, because going off footage of Preston's home, he really does have a thing for frequencies and sound.
I sent this to Marcus. I sent him, not this one, but I sent Marcus a clip of Preston Nichols hanging out in his house. And I said, do you even fucking lift, bro? This man, his entire life is sound.
Sound. Yes. He does it. He is on a different level than me. I'll tell you that.
If you walk into us watching footage of his home, obviously we talked about the wall-to-wall like sound equipment and the stuff going on like he is, but his ceiling was just like pumping out religious radio, right? Like really, really intense. And on top of his house sits what he does is a rebuild of a fake thing called the Delta T antenna, according to Preston Nichols, right? He put the antenna on top of his house. And I want you to hear, now he shot some video in this base tour. He shot some video outside of his own home. And I want you to imagine, you live in East Islip. You're in a little suburban country. It's like a nice house. And this is your next door neighbor. He has got a 12-foot tall pyramid-shaped antenna on his house making this noise. That's just this is from the street. You're hearing the noise from his house. This can't be good for anybody.
This is why they all have pots on their head.
This is why Preston Nichols is this way.
It's because he's living in this at all times.
He is surrounded by 9G, whatever this shit is.
He's constantly frying his brain.
He is frying his brain. He sleeps in this shitty, bed.
You can see the whole antenna structure here. This is the Delta T antenna.
You got it. It's just, I can't even
But
imagine.
it's to nothing.
It's not her. It's connected into his speakers. God knows what it's doing.
Yeah, no idea. I mean, frequencies can have, certain sound frequencies definitely can have an effect on your brain.
Yeah.
But I know not all of them. I know that we
not all.
disprove that radio waves don't really do anything to you, but I feel like if you're covered in them,
yeah,
it can't be that good.
It's a different type of white noise.
Aren't you supposed to not be under power lines? Isn't it bad for you?
No, you're not supposed to. Not
Yeah, it feels
directly
like-
underneath.
I don't
them.
think anything is supposed to be that humming, that loud that you're supposed to be sleeping under.
Nope. If Preston did track the frequency to the abandoned base, it is quite possible that he and his psychic friend were simply approached by a mentally ill homeless man wandering the grounds, who told them an insane story about monsters and secret government time travel experiments. But as you can probably tell from Preston's stories about his life prior to the Montauk Project, all the stuff about being friends with Jim Morrison and creating the Wall of Sound, all that shit, Preston definitely leans towards flights of fancy. And when his psychic friend, quote-unquote, confirmed the mentally ill man's story with so-called psychic powers, it was off to the races for Preston. Preston soon started wandering around Montauk, kicking up dust, talking to everyone he could find about any weird shit that might have happened. Duncan Cameron, meanwhile, who certainly has his own fanciful ways of thinking, he may have caught wind of Preston's investigation. Duncan then goes to Preston's house with half a story, but through the process of so-called hypnotic regression, which is notorious for creating false memories, Duncan and Preston were able to yes-and each other into creating the entire Montauk Project narrative. And you're right, Ed, it is that one guy's fault.
It could be.
I think so. It's possible. It's very possible.
I have, obviously I have a cockamamie. There's so many different ways. We talked about this, what's the truth here? What are we seeing
The truth is that nothing happened their entire life, and then this guy came, spouted nonsense at them, and gave them a purpose for being alive.
It's true. Yeah. Or, on one level, the very top of it, it's all true. Which is obviously not.
Sure.
But then I have, a fun middle theory that's okay, let's just say, during this time period when the intelligence offices were running amok with black budgets and they could do anything they want, let's say you have a couple of wingnuts, right, under some
Wing makers, please.
You're right. We got some guys that decide, let's see what these microwaves do on a bunch of little boys, right? Which is not that far away from what they were doing with MK Ultra. Not that far. So it's what if at some point they are frying a bunch of, zapping a bunch of people with these rays? Preston Nichols said something interesting on a interview with Art Bell that he said that was he always kind of talking. This is early in the story development. He said that he had a thought that the time travel never worked. That it was all mind control. That all the time travel stuff was an implanted thing in their heads to make them sound insane. And that actually what it was an entire place that was just frying boys. And then eventually some government guy was like, okay, what's happening here? We're doing what here? And then said get rid of it. Get rid of these fucking idiots. Make them homeless. Yeah. Get them out of here. And then they stumbled back later on.
You can't convict me of a crime. It's 2137.
And you're fuck. We did it too good.
Now, no matter how the story was created, I do think that Preston Nichols believed that it was real, and therefore took the whole thing extremely seriously. By July of 1986, he'd assembled a group of investigators who were all on board with discovering the truth behind the Montauk Project. Once they felt they had a good narrative going, they traveled to Chicago, where Preston gave a lecture to hundreds of people at the U.S. Psychotronics Association, which is a nonprofit dedicated to studying esoteric, spiritual, and psychic arts because mainstream science refuses to do so.
Yeah, because they're fucking weak and suck.
U.S. Psychotronics Association, by the way, still going strong to this day, and is currently chaired by a channeler named John Climo, who I'm sure has quite a few opinions on the efficacy of orgone accumulators.
I'm going to say this right now, guys. Remember, we just went through a little bit of a ride in the stock market by the dip. The U.S. Psychotronics Association, that stock's on the rise. We're trying to make it go public. Buy in. Time to buy in. Let's go. Psychic stock going up.
Still doing turtlenecks.
Yeah, I know.
But after giving that speech, Preston Nichols had, before long, formed a bit of a Montauk crew. He, of course, had Duncan Cameron on board, but Al Bielek soon showed up as well. And once Duncan and Al got going, they eventually cooked up the time-traveling brothers living in their second body/live storyline.
When the three of them together, it's like, what was that super group with Willie Nelson, Johnny?
The Highwaymen.
Man, it is the Highwaymen, dude.
Yeah.
They just feel that groove, dude.
Yeah.
They all just, one drops the bass, the other one picks up where the other one left off.
I would say they're more like very talented jazz improv players.
Oh,
Yeah, but with conspiracy theory.
Yeah, being fat.
Ford Hero! That makes so much sense.
Ah, it's the sandwiches.
Oh, wow. It's a sandwich-based economy.
Well, from there, the crew hooked up with author Peter Moon, who began doing investigations of his own. Now, these men were making some pretty wild claims, so Peter figured it would be good to contact the head of the Montauk Historical Society, a man named Dick White, to see if this man could confirm or deny any of these events. This poor man.
Dick White. Hi, nice to meet you. Yep, you guessed it. The curtains match the drapes.
A lot of people don't know this. It's actually pink.
This pink is all get out, buddy. You won't mistake it.
Now, to Peter Moon's credit, he did publish Dick White's incredibly patient responses to his questions. Dick said that he didn't recall any out-of-season hurricanes or snowstorms, nor did he ever hear anything about large groups of wild animals running rampant through town, although he did remember one time when a couple of deer crashed into a phone booth.
That's a crazy day, dude. That was crazy. Ever had venison ravioli? We did.
Dick White, however, did refer Peter to some other Montauk locals, including the former gardener at Fort Hero. The gardener said that sometimes when he was mowing, he would run over pieces of metal that would give, and those pieces of metal would give him electric shocks. We kept doing it because it's his job.
And it's fun.
They kept saying stuff like, stop running over the metal, you'll get a shock. And I said, no, this is my favorite time. This is where I like to be. I'm one with the grass. That guy's smart. That guy cutting grass, he gets it. He doesn't need the fucking rat race. He doesn't need the corporate ladder. He just loves sitting on that mower, hanging out on Long Island.
Yeah? Yeah, you're right. I got some Ricotta here in my water bottle.
Well, Peter claims that the gardener's electric shocks were evidence of a highly charged electrical field in the vicinity of the base. From what it seems...
Oh, did you say, for a second I thought he said electric sharks.
Yep.
It's like, fuck. I don't want to get into
You think at this point in the fucking game, I'm going to introduce electric sharks?
Yes, I mean,
I'm much more likely to introduce electric sharks.
Ooh!
Because of the Italians.
Yeah.
And
it's electric.
And they shart a lot.
Yeah, they do, because of the fucking, it's gravy. Yeah. It's Sunday gravy.
That's those electric sharks. They are in a Montauk chair.
From what it seems like, Peter put far more stock into the gardener's claims than in what the head of the Montauk Historical Society had to say. That was more the direction Peter Moon went in when they started writing the books.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah. I think, the guy's the fucking Mr. Penis White is fucking a bummer. This guy is a fucking, that gardener knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm. Now, despite very brief...
Oh, he's taking his overalls off again. Here, put him back on. You got to put your overalls on before we talk to the guy. Okay, all right, we've seen you, dingleberries.
Now, despite very brief moments of clarity, Peter Moon still went along with all the absolutely insane shit that Preston Nichols and Duncan Cameron claimed. And eventually, they wrote 5 books on the subject of the Montauk Project. And my God, there is so much we did not talk about.
That is serious. There's so much more Montauk Project DLC that we can't include.
There's like the acid cabin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the acid cabin. There's this whole thing with this guy that says that he was a Montauk boy who was sent back in time to assassinate Jesus Christ so he could get Jesus's blood so they could fucking mix the blood with Duncan Cameron's blood and put it on the Shroud of Turin so they could prove that Duncan Cameron was the fucking savior, but Duncan Cameron was also the Antichrist because Duncan Cameron was also friends with Aleister Crowley in a previous life. I'm talking
about the Aleister Crowley stuff we haven't even gotten into.
They also claimed Timothy Leary was there.
Oh, yeah.
They also claimed Timothy Leary.
There's also, we never touched the 9 rulers of the White Lodge.
Yeah.
That's a whole thing here that we could touch.
No, this universe is, they extended, 5 books. Like, it's a massive, massive universe, and the more they wrote, the less sense it makes.
This is the show that it should have been.
Yeah.
I understand why they didn't do Stranger Things this way because of all the sexual assault that would have needed to be portrayed.
Yeah.
But I think that the rest of it could have been way interesting if they did it that way. Because what are they, Dementors? What was the monsters from Stranger Things?
Demigorgons.
Yeah, so the Demigorgons are kind of like the beast.
Yeah.
And then was it called the Upside Down where they went?
Yeah, the Upside Down.
What was the one in Get Out?
The
Undergrounds?
The sinking place?
Yes, the sunken
place. Yeah.
It's all the same.
Yeah. It's all Montauk Project type shit. Well, as far as Preston Nichols went, he claimed that all of his memories about the Montauk Project returned in 1990 when he accidentally electrocuted himself while constructing a Delta T antenna on the roof of his science laboratory.
Can you please pronounce it correctly? Delta T antenna.
Antenna. Excuse me.
Antenna.
Delta T antenna.
So this is all from brain damage.
No. It put him on a different time track.
It helped his brain be that way.
Yeah. But once the whole story was out there, Preston claimed that he spent the latter years of his life finding and deprogramming all the Montauk boys who were scattered to the winds when Duncan Cameron's mind monster destroyed the lab and shut the whole thing down.
But I had to find a sunken pirate ship, and it was like a whole thing where they were trying to save their house, and then I went down there, and they were finding all the treasure, and there was the Asian kid with all the technology, and then there was the fat kid who was kind of funny, and I love that. I love those Montauk boys.
Oh, there they are now. Hey, you guys!
Hey, you guys!
Preston also claimed that because he insisted on telling the truth, he was spied on for years by invisible men hanging out in his yard.
You see that guy over there?
Nah.
Exactly.
Well, he knew that these were Montauk people because Montauk boys were sometimes given invisibility suits that were capable of shifting into alternate realities.
That's how they look.
I don't know why, but that's like, for me, that's like the fucking breaking point.
That's
for me,
can you just imagine giving a Montauk boy an invisibility suit? He'd just be in the girl's bathroom.
Yeah,
you know
just
what I mean?
constantly. He wouldn't move. He wouldn't leave.
He'd just go.
It was just what if good fun you're just naked and you're like, I'm wearing my invisibility suit.
It's just me.
Stop! Hey,
I'm not naked.
Get that Montauk boy out of there. That naked Montauk boy made criminals out of all of us.
He's not naked. He's wearing an invisibility suit.
I can see his invisibility dick.
Oh, I get it. The suit's invisible. Not me. Good prank, guys.
That's
Good
funny,
prank.
right?
It's funny. Now, the entire Montauk crew, including Preston Nichols, Peter Moon, Al Bielek, and Duncan Cameron, they all took a trip out to Camp Hero in 1995 and claimed that they still observed the same mind control frequency emanating from the base, despite its official closing in the mid-'80s. This, along with the invisible boys in Preston Nichols' front yard.
You can't even see him. That's the worst part. You never know when you're there. And all of a sudden, you're jerking off, and you look over there, and a boy appears, and then all of a sudden, oh, I'm a problem? And he's laughing and laughing. He's like, oh, it's funny how you come. It's funny how you come. And I tell him, it's not funny how I come. I'm an adult. I'm a man.
They don't come, remember? They're gooners.
Oh, but not anymore. I'm retired. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, my God. God!
I'm retired.
All coming together. It always comes together at the end.
Can I actually play a bit of my research, the example of what it was like when they went back?
Please.
So he took one of what he said one of the most famous psychics from Long Island to the Montauk base. And this was her reaction that shows that, in matter of fact, it was all real and it's continuing to happen.
You want to look at it, Helga?
I feel like I smell urine and defecation, and I feel pain. I feel like a state of helplessness, like there's no return. It's very emotional for me because I feel that those that have given their lives, I'd like to know why they gave their life. You know, why did they give their life? What was the reason for this madness?
What madness would they've been caught up in?
What is this? People talk.
Cut this fucking rambling. This lady looks like my fucking aunt.
Yeah, she does.
Also, she might be smelling and feeling all that because
homeless people might be living there.
Yeah,
it's very possible.
Yeah, it seems like it's a really good squatting location.
That's awesome squat.
Yeah, perfect squat. Of course you smell fucking urine.
Because that was his whole thing. I smell urine, I smell defecation.
Defecation.
I feel sadness. It's horrible. You also miss a lot of that. You miss that's horrible. Oh, horrible in here. Horrible.
Well, ultimately, I personally think that the Montauk Project conspiracy exists and persists for the same reason that similar conspiracies like QAnon gain so much traction. And it all comes down to participation. See, the Montauk Project narrative allowed Preston Nichols and Duncan Cameron and Al Bielek to be heroes, main characters in a science fiction epic that was able to fuse itself into real-world events quite easily due to its open-ended nature. Once Preston and Duncan started telling their story in public, though, saying that their minds had been wiped and that they'd recovered their memories, they opened the door for anyone to claim that they were also a part of the Montauk Project. And more often than not, the people claiming participation weren't exactly living exciting lives. These people all began feeding each other stories and building the narrative out into every corner they could find if they felt it could explain something that didn't make sense or wasn't fair. And as such, whether it was intentional or not, I think that the Montauk Project served as the blueprint for the participational collage conspiracies of the internet age. The Montauk Project is the original collage conspiracy. See, when it comes to conspiracies like this, while the creators certainly get the ball rolling, it's the public that picks these conspiracies up and turns them into a far larger narrative. Ultimately, though, while these things start off as nothing more than fantasies, they eventually get built into something entirely different. And sometimes those conspiracies, with no grounding in the truth, can have dire consequences in the real world. Due to just how incredibly connected our world is these days, though, there's nary a corner on Earth that doesn't have to deal with the consequences of these modern conspiracies. And I think a lot of this can be traced back to two idiots in Long Island who just wanted their lives to be a lot more exciting than they really were.
I think that's also a common problem across the board.
Yeah.
People want it. People want to be a part of these giant plot lines.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is the Montauk Project is like it is the blueprint for the world that we're living in now.
And it feels good. It feels good to be included. It feels good to have purpose. And stuff like this was it was also different too, because back then information did travel more slowly.
Yeah.
You had to go actively search this out. This would not fall on your lap. No. If you wanted this dumb shit like we love, if you believed in this stuff, you would have had to go, like the original tape I saw was in a guy's house with them talking. Like, this is before cons and before all the stuff. Like,
well, there were cons back then.
But
You could maybe find something like this at a gun show.
yes, but it would take you going to a place, searching it out. Now it's just there. So this mostly, I think Montauk originally really worked on the fact that they couldn't immediately check. You're dealing with people and you're saying a bunch of fake stuff necessarily, or stuff that they can't check on in the moment, and then you can blow right past it.
Well, it's like I was saying in the first episode about all of his claims about being in the music business. It's like in 1992, it's like I couldn't in 1992, you know how long it would take me to see who played the drums on Big Girls Don't Cry? Like, if I ever
it'd take
find
like a week.
Yeah,
You have to call a library. You have to do all this stuff.
Yeah, and here it's tech. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
Oh, and there is, wow, Rob just put up a picture. It shows that his picture from his social media avatar has the control tower of the Montauk Project in its background.
It's the Sage
Finally
Array.
relevant.
Yeah. Finally. And your father told us some good stories. Your father visited the studio today, and he told us about the missiles going out to Long Island.
Oh, yeah.
He's exactly as I wanted him to be. He's exactly as I needed him to be.
Now, I reconnected with my Montauk person, my connection over there, and he said that he'd never heard of boys going missing before during the 60s and 70s. But there is, in fact, a giant bunker out there.
There is.
Because his father was stationed there when he was older.
There is a giant army base there. There's an army base there. We don't know what it did.
Well, he said that the bunker was there kind of as like a nuclear fallout shelter.
And we didn't even get into all the animal biohacking that came from, because again, that's what Preston Nichols was the one thing that he said he was forbidden to talk about.
Was the animal biohacking?
Yes,
None
which
of
is where
the
the Montauk
not
Monster came from.
time travel.
No.
But changing animals to look like different animals.
The biological edge of the experimentation was super secret.
Yeah.
So it was like Dr. Moreau shit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that some people, of course, connect that to the Montauk Monster, the thing that washed up on shore in 2012? Or
something like that.
Yeah, but it was awesome.
Yeah, that was it was really fun.
It was a raccoon.
Yeah,
but guys, I think that this is still my favorite conspiracy theory, because it was back when this shit was fun.
Yeah.
This is fun as hell, and I wish boys could time travel.
Yeah, I wish boys could time travel too. And this was pretty incredible. Like, only like a skosh of anti-Semitism and racism in this one.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah. It just proves that they just can't help it. It had no matter, he didn't need to bring it in. He didn't need to tell us that the Draconians were actually Jewish people.
Jewish people,
yeah, and that Asian people are insects. He didn't need to say any of that. It wasn't important to the narrative at all.
It probably would have been thicker if the Pope of Judaism, Steven Spielberg, didn't live out there.
Maybe he would be. But they're all on the same team on Montauk.
Yeah.
That's how it is. Patreon.com/Last Podcast on the Left. Watch us by giving us money. And also go to @LP on the Left for all of our social medias.
Yeah, and don't forget to come out and watch the stream every Tuesday at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. EST, last stream on the left. You can watch it live on Patreon or after the fact on YouTube, but I would recommend watching it live on Patreon because we play a lot of shit on the live stream that we cannot put on YouTube. So if you want to watch it unedited and live, come check it out.
Come and check it out. You can go to lastpodcastonleft.com to buy tickets to see us live. Our show is better than ever, and we will be
tonight.
We will be in Detroit at the Masonic Temple, having a fucking blast.
It's just the Masonic, not the Masonic Temple.
I still love it. I love that fucking venue.
I mean, I can't wait to see it. I'm very excited to be in Detroit.
Yeah, it's
going to be very cool. And then we're going to be in Toronto right after that, but it's sold out.
It is.
It is, but right after that, I'm going down to Florida for the second half of the Invasive Species Tour.
And so am I.
Yes, May 6th, I'll be in Naples. I'm trying to talk Henry into going to that show, but it doesn't seem like it's likely.
We'll see what happens.
And then Fort Lauderdale on May 7th with Side Stories, and then Orlando on May 8th, and then I'm in Key West all weekend from May 9th through the 11th. So come check that out. And of course, in June, we're going to Atlanta. And just go to lastpodcastonleft.com to see all the shows we're doing all year. We got a full fucking schedule. So go and check us out. We are hitting the road this year.
Oh, yeah, come back to the Pacific Northwest. We're going to Portland. We're going to Salt Lake City. Going all kinds of fucking places.
Oakland.
Contact in the desert. We're going to be at crimewaveatc.com/last. We're going to be doing a fucking Side Stories cruise. Come check it out. It's going to be fucking wild.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've learned nothing and everything. I'm just glad I'm a Woodhaven boy that never made it out to the island. Hail Satan.
Oh, hail Geen.
Hail Preston Nichols.
What?
He created a nice story.
You know, it's for...
Except for the Jewish thing.
Yeah, I mean, everyone slips up a little bit.
Hey, podcast listeners. Mr. Ballin here to let you know we are now publishing 4 times a week on my podcast, Mr. Ballin Podcast, Strange, Dark, and Mysterious Stories. That's right. You'll be getting 4 new episodes a week covering unbelievable mysteries, chilling true crime, and stories so strange they sound made up. But they aren't. They're all true. Don't miss an episode. Listen to and follow Mr. Ballin Podcast, Strange, Dark, and Mysterious Stories wherever you get your podcasts or on YouTube.
Talk about regrets. We all know someone who's been in a car accident and said, I don't need to call a lawyer, only to regret it after their pain and damages were worse than expected. When someone hurts you, you deserve to be compensated fairly. Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm, fighting for the people for over 35 years. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com/podcast. That's forthepeople.com/podcast. Their fee is free unless they win.